uh, 4000 4068 BC. That was the time that he lived. It was believed that he was born in Eastern India. He was born in Eastern India. And his father was called Raja. So it means that the father was a king. So if the father was a king, then he is a prince. He has been a prince from childhood, and he lived in a very luxurious life, as we looked at in the case of Buddha or Gautama. But like Gautama Buddha, Mahavira was also not content with life, was not content with a princely life and all the luxury. But out of respect for his parents, he continued to live in that luxurious life till his parents passed away. And then he renounced the world. He renounced the world, as in case of Gautama Buddha. So let's look at the basic teachings of Jainism. One, the universe is believed to be uncreated and eternal. They believe that the universe is uncreated and it's internal. This means among the Jains, there is no speculation about a creator, a beginning, or an end. So it's also believed that in the history of Jainism, consists of a long eras, each with a period of improvement followed by one of a decline. So the present one is of a serious decline. Then religion will die out to be restored in the next era. The religion, that is Jainism, will die out and to be restored in the next era. So it means that life is a kind of a cycle. Life is a kind of cycle. And then one stage, one dispensation or one era improves on the other, And then the old one will decline and then a new one will come. That is how they think. And then sometimes it kind of makes sense in such a way that just take let's take from 1980 to 2000. That is 2 generations, 2 decades. You just look at the automobile industry and look at the kind of cars that were produced. You realize that every car that is produced is an improvement over the previous one. Just look at let's even take a Toyota Corolla. You look at the Toyota Corolla that were produced from 2000 to 2010. You realize that the current ones are more improved over those ones. So that is the kind of idea they want to show, that the present world is declining, and then the next one is an improvement over the other. So that is how it is continuing to create itself. Now they believe that the world or the universe contains two things, or is grouped in two categories, and these are Jiva and Ajiva. The Jiva and Ajiva. The Ajiva means dead or lifeless matter. So the universe is put into two groups. One is Ajiva and the other is Jiva. The Ajiva means that the world consists of dead and lifeless world. The universe consists of dead and lifeless matter. Then the second group, that is Jiva, which they believe that the world consists of the living being. The world consists of what? A living being. They also have this concept of karma. I hope you know the concept of karma. We learned, as in Judaism, karma in Jainism may be translated as deeds or action, an effect of such deeds on the soul concerned, right? So basically, The Jain gave karma a distinctive interpretation. The Jain view it as a kind of a very thin material substance which attach itself to the soul as a result of its activities, thus making it impure and heavy and bound to material world, and it concerns an attraction. Karma may be likened to soot or a very fine dust, a very fine dust. So in Hinduism, we learn that karma is action and effect. What now you are learning, what you are learning now will make you a catechist tomorrow. So whatever you are today was result of what happened yesterday, and what you will be today is what is happening now, right? But for the Jainism, they also believe in karma, but they believe that karma is more like a dust or soot that is attached to the human soul, and then it makes the man concentrate to the what? Material world. That is it. So, but in the same idea, right? Now, the last thing they talk about is liberation. Liberation or salvation is attained through the effort of the individual soul. Please listen. I just want you to understand here, this is a very sharp difference with Christianity, and so he said, but it has something to do with Islam. They said salvation is attained wholly through the effort of the human soul. So you see, you attain salvation through your own effort. But in Christianity, salvation is a gift from God, right? Because our own work cannot save us. Work cannot save us. So we need faith in Christ and faith in God to save us, right? But here, they believe that to attain salvation or liberation, one needs what? Effort, work, so that you can have salvation. In Jainism, there is no divine being. There's no divine being who gives assistance to any being. So there's no divine being like God to assist you attain salvation. No. The gods are conceived as in Hinduism and are not denied. They are seen as higher beings existing in higher levels of the cosmos. So you see, they have gods like in Hinduism, but these gods are believed to be separated from man, and they live far away in the cosmos, right? But they are finite, subject to rebirth, and in need of attaining full and final liberation when they too can rise to the summit of what? The universe. So it means that even the gods themselves also needs what? A rebirth. The gods themselves needs a rebirth. So that is just small teachings about Jainism. So now let's run to the next one. So now we are finished with religions in India. We have finished with all the religions in India. Please, did I touch on Taoism the other time?
No.
I did not touch on Taoism.
No.
Oh, okay, so today we are looking at two religions I've mentioned that when you come to now we are finished with India, so we are now coming to the religion of the Far East. And Far East, I'm talking of the Asian religions, So here I'm talking about three religions that is found in China, Japan, and these religions are Taoism, Shintoism, and Confucianism. The mother of these two religions is I think is the Confucianism, right? So there are three religions. So I'm going to take you through two of them today. If there's time, we'll look at the last one, which is the Confucianism. So the first religion I want us to look at is Taoism. Taoism. Now, the first religion of China is Confucianism. So Taoism is the second religion in China. The Chinese, their second religion is Taoism. Please, Tao, it is spelled Taoism. Tao, so Taoism. Taoism. Now, the word Tao means path or way. The word Tao means path or way. So it is like a way of acting or a principle or a doctrine. So listen, we have the Tower of Heaven. The Tower, so Tower means way. So we have the Tower of Heaven. So when I say Tower of Heaven, I mean the way of heaven. So the Tower of Heaven describes how the universe works. The Tower of Heaven describes how the universe works. And then we have the Tower of Man, which also describes how man lives in harmony with the universe. How man lives in harmony with the universe. Tao is the ultimate reality. Ultimate reality and the unity behind diversity of things. Is the ultimate reality and the unity behind the diversity of what? Things. It is that by which men live and in losing which they die. So it is in him that we all live. And by losing the Tao, the man what? Will die. So you live in the Tao. And then when you lose the Tao, then you die. Tao Ting Chin. Tao Ting Chin. So it's three words, not one word. So I'm trying. So the first word is Tao. T-A-O. Tao. Then Ting. Ting. Is T-E. Chin. C-H-I-N-G. Chin. Now, it's the book. It's the basic book of Taoism. It is believed to be the most influential religious book in China, or the Chinese most influential religious book. The book was written by Lao Tse, L-A-O-T-E-X, Lao Tse. And Lao Tse is the founder of Taoism. Lao Tse is the founder of Taoism. Lao Tse was born in 604 BC. And he lived for 160 years. 160 years. The Tao tradition says that he spent 60 years in his mother's womb before he was born. 60 years. Everybody spends 9 months, but he spent 60 years in his mother's womb. So he was born with white beard.
Papa, how old is the mother?
Please, let's continue. So he was therefore born with white hair and beard. White hair and beard. So he was called Old Baby. And the others also called him the Old Master. The Old Master. Now, the basic teachings. Some few basic teachings about the religion. So I've already mentioned some. So Tao is the way, unchanging, indescribable, and nameless way. It is a mystery of darkness, the source and doorway from which all the creatures of the earth have come. It is a mysterious and quiet way, yet powerful and eternal. That's one. Two, morality and ethics. With their artificial rules and regulation, do not make anyone moral, but only give rise to theft and profit making. If people stop to worry about secular law and wisdom, they would be more compassionate, dutiful to ethics and their own nature. Three, the Tao oppose all warfare. For war brings but devastation and decay. Tao oppose all warfare, for it brings but devastation and decay. So for one to delight in wars or in weapons means to delight in death. If someone likes weapons, then it means that person loves in death or delight or like death. Means to delight in death, which can never achieve peace but suffering and misery. Another thing about their teaching is that Tao is the original, the uncarved block, the unity behind all multiplicity, and the basis of being for all that it is. Tao is like a drifting ship, goes where it will, covering all creatures without dominating them. Great but lowly in its manifestation, and will sharpen without dominating them. The wise one, the wise person in Tao does nothing, does nothing, or speak in silence. For those who speak do not know, and those who know do not speak. The way of the wise is to act without striving. In many ways, Taoism taught the way very opposite of Confucianism. Confucianism attempts to make people perfect and taught them how to live in harmony with the world and with each other. Confucianism started with man and his society. Taoism, however, seeks to turn man away from society to contemplation of the misery of the universe. Fulfillment in Taoism is spontaneous and trans-ethical and cannot be accomplished by following certain rules or guidelines. The Tao became the metaphysical absolute, which only requires that each person be placed within the current. The most famous statements of freedom of the Taoist immortal is that ascribed to Lao Tzu when he said, "The ways of men are conditioned by those of heaven." Please listen to it again. The ways of men are conditioned by those of heaven, and the ways of heaven by those of the Tao. And the Tao came into being by itself. Taoism is a religion that claims that life is beautiful by a threatening series of transformation. By this, Taoism evokes a sense of awe and wonder which this transformation gives to mankind. Taoists have been the best poets of nature as they seek to celebrate life with serene resignation and hope. So I want to give them one of their quotes, their poetic quotes. Just surrender to the cycle of things. Give yourself to the waves of the great change. Neither happy nor yet afraid. When it is time to go, then simply go without any unnecessary fears. That is one of their poems of hope. So we are done with this something a gist on Taoism. So we look another short religion, and we look another religion from one of the Far East religions. Another one I want us to look at, and that one is Shintoism. Shintoism. I just want to remind you that these things that I'm telling you, there are more things to added to it. So this is just a brief or a gist of the religion, because we wouldn't be able to take it into details the way we took Islam, right? But just to give you something brief about it, and then if you want, you can now do further reading on them. Because of the time frame, we cannot do much detail. So now let's also introduce ourselves to another religion. It is Shintoism. Shinto. Shintoism. Shinto. So Shinto is a Chinese religion.
This may, Papa, the spelling again, please.
Shintoism. Please, you had it?
Thank you, Papa.
That's it. Okay. So the origin of the name Shinto is, the etymology is Shintao, like we are spelling she, and then you add N to it, Shintao, then hyphen Tao. So Shentao. So Shintao, like the way we're looking at Taoism, Shintao. And here too, the way I said in Taoism is that Tao means way. So here what they are saying is that Shintao means the way of the gods. Shintao means the way of the gods. And then you see, this is China, right? This is China. Then let's go to the same thing. There's equivalent word in Japanese. Japanese have equivalent word to this. And the equivalent word in Japanese is kami. 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 And kami in Chinese means ghost. But the Chinese also have a word. I also have a word like Mao, 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 which spells M-A-U, M-A-U, Mao. And that one also means divine power, a divine power manifested in great rocks, trees, and other natural phenomena. So, Kami means gods, but then they also have mouths, and they also it means like, you know, I don't know whether you know this in pantheism. Everything is God and everything is part of God. What it means that the God, there is some spirits in trees, some spirits in mountains, and spirits in rocks. That is the idea that this thing is telling us. So they are saying that there are some powers, divine powers that manifest themselves in rocks, trees, a natural phenomenon, like the earthquake, storm, right? There are some powers with, and that one is man. Now, Shintoism has roughly about 30,000 followers, 30 million followers. And you see, their followers may be identified with other religions. Their followers may be identified with other religions like Confucianism, Taoism, and even Buddhism. And also, even there are some Christians who still belongs to, how do you call it, Shinto. There are some Chinese Christians or Japanese Christians. They call themselves Christians, but they still adhere to how do you call it, Shinto, because the religion is more of a cultural thing. That religion is more of a cultural thing. And this religion, Shinto, is found mostly in Japan. It's found mostly in Japan. Although some pockets of it may be found elsewhere in Asia, right? So majority of Shinto people are found in Japan, but it can be found in many parts of Asia. It can be found in many parts of Asia. Let's and then what I also want to say is that it has a great influence because of in both industry, socialization, everything that they do, it has what influence. It's not just a religion as we see it, but it's more becoming like a way of life for the Chinese people. It's becoming like a way of life for the Chinese. That is why they are telling you that everything that, do you know that even in their automobile industry, their industrialization, development, they employ this Shinto beliefs. So everything that they do has something to do with the Shinto belief. Even in democracy that they practice. So they also believe that they have 800,000 gods. They have 800,000 gods. And these gods are in the spirit are found in the wind, rain, earthquake, sea, trees. And then some Chinese heroes are also considered as what? Deities. And sometimes they may be referred as kami as gods. They are heroes. And then like the way in Africa, when someone grows a hero, or a hero, or someone who grows very old, someone who has performed an heroic deed can become an ancestor in the African context. It's the same thing. It's the same idea applies here, that someone who is a hero among the Chinese can be what? Made a deity. Can be made a deity. Yes, can be made a deity. So let's look at some few the influence of the religions. As I said it has a great influence among the people. So let's look at the influence. Now, Shinto religious practice are usually restricted to individual observation. So it is individual observation. It's restricted to individual observations at many of the shrines in what? Japan. So people visit the shrine to offer their requests before journey. So as I said, individual restrictions. So people go there individually to do their things. So if you want to travel, you visit the shrine to offer a request for traveling mercy. If you are going to take an exams, you go there and then pray for success in exams. Before any major undertaking, people will have to go to the shrine to go and pray before they go. Families also go there, visit the shrine to pray, especially for health, maybe for childbirth, for weddings, they will visit. The shrine, most of the times, you see people going to the shrine, particularly during the new year. During the new year, people, they visit the shrine in their numbers. At least, perhaps the idea is that to ask for protection throughout the year. So you see people going there a lot, especially from the 1st to 3rd January. People go there a lot. And then also just after the midnight of 31st. So from the midnight of 31st to 3rd January, a lot of people will visit the Shinto shrine just to seek for protection within the year, or also ask for, the way we do during the covenant service, and also the 31st night, we ask for protection, we pray for guidance. They equally do that. Now, one thing that is so significant that you should also understand, I say when they visit, people buy wooden feathers. And then this wooden feather, it's like an arrow meant to drive away evil spirits. And this is also like a protective charm. When they visit the shrine, they take it. Some take this wooden feather home and place it on a family mini shrine. So it means that people have their own little shrines in their room. And then when they buy this wooden arrow or the feathers on the arrow, they take the feathers and then place it in the shrine that they have it at home. Perhaps this will protect them throughout the year. So through Shintoism, the Chinese people have developed a culture that love nature and beauty, which emphasizes on the virtue of the family unit, diligent at work, and a sense of duty. So through this, they have developed a culture. As I said, I told you that from the beginning, that it's more of a cultural thing. And if it's a cultural thing, it is the way of life of the people. And they love, and this have allowed them to love nature and the beauty of it. Now, as I've mentioned first, They have also learned the love of learning from Confucianism and the spirit of self-sacrifice from Buddhism. So they took something from, as I said, it has an influence in many religions. So they have also learned from Confucianism the spirit of what? Learning. And then that of sacrifice from Buddhism. However, there is no religious sect or influence in Japan that is not affected by Shintoism. As I said, all religion, every religion in China or Japan has been affected or influenced by what?
Yeah,
Are we okay?
Yes, boss.
I'm not sure you're okay. Officer,
Yeah.
can you please
Mute
mute
yourself.
thank you.
So it is believed that there has been a considerable growth in Shinto sects, such as, and there have been considerable growth in these religious sects or group, and they have a group like what they call Terichiko. That is the religion of heavenly wisdom. Kochiko Yo, the religion of the golden light. Kochiko Yo, the religion of the golden light. These new sets are organized like churches, providing security and fellowship amid the changing social condition of modern Japan. So as I said, it continued to change, and you see another sect has been developed out of that. And this one is what? Helping to change. They organize this one. If you don't even have, you are not careful, you may think that they are having church service, right? But it is still that's why I said some of these people, they even go to church and they still practice this culture. They see it like it's a culture that they are practicing. So you see, Shintoism continued to have a great influence on Japanese people. Shintoism has continued to have great influence on Japanese people. In spite of the industrialization and secularization of modern Japan, it may continue to be the unifying factor in Japanese culture and nationalism. So I already mentioned that even though Japan is advanced technologically, they are advanced in many ways of doing things, this religion has what? Influenced many things, including their industrialization and the secularization. I hope when I say secular, trying to what? Separate religion from social life and political life. Now, this religion continued to to integrate itself even in their socialization, in their secular life, and also how they are so industrious. The industries that they have, everything that they do is influenced by this particular religion. Shinto and Buddhism seems to have fitted well in cultural and religious panorama of the Chinese people and still controls the life of majority of the approximately 100 million Japanese. So you see, Buddhism continued to influence about 100 million Japanese people, the religion. And Western religions, such as Christianity, are also gaining limited acceptance. Christianity is gaining limited what? Acceptance. I've already mentioned that the people, even though those who want to become Christians in Japan, they still keep to their culture, because it is like you cannot separate the Japanese from a Shinto. Everything about them is that religion, right? So even when they become Christians, they still have it. So it's making Islam and Christianity gained limited acceptance among the Chinese people in Japanese people in Japan. And that has the control of the people of the island of the sun rising, of the islands. So you see, the religion continued to have what? Control over the people. And you know that it is also the religion of, as it were, the monarch. The monarch, they have chieftaincy, everything. Their government and everything is ruled by this religion. It's ruled by this religion. Now, my time is up, but then let me add one or two things, then we go. Now, the stories of Shinto gods is collected in a book called Niyongi, and Kojiki, and they call it the Chronicle of Japan. And this book contains the list of names and the traditional stories rather than religious devotional writings. So this book, this book is where you have all the stories of the gods of what? China. Now, there is one or two I want to mention, two of the gods that, or the deities that emerge, I want to mention before we leave. One is called the male who invites, and the other is called the female who invites. These two are primordial pair that gave birth to the islands of Japan. So you see, these mystic beings that I mentioned, one is called the male who invite and the other the female who invite. It is believed that they came together and they gave birth to what we call the island of what? Japan. So it is from this pair that came the chief deity of Japan, the sun goddess, the sun goddess, the sun goddess, or the heaven illuminating goddess. She rules the light and the day wisely and kindly, giving peace and order and protecting the food supply. She has a brother, and the brother is Susanoo. And the Susanoo, he is the storm god. He is believed to be the storm god, destroyed by her domain and polluted her shrines. Good. So this is a little about Shintoism. Please, we would end here, and if you have a question, next week we will now move to the how do you call it? We'll look at the religions from Palestine, the Middle East. We'll look at those kind of religions, and then that place, we have about 4 religions there. We'll look at 2. Here we have 3. We have 3 here: Confucianism, Taoism, and Shintoism. We did not do Confucianism. Please, you can read on that. Confucianism, I think, is the first religion in China, and it is believed to have founded by one person called Confucian. Confucian is the one who founded the religion. So please, you can read on that, and then next week we will go to Palestine, and we'll look at, there are 4 religions there. We have Christianity, we have Islam, but then we'll not look at Islam, we'll not look at Christianity, because we are Christians, and we know about we are doing most of our religions, what the studies is centered of Christianity, so we don't need to go there. we have, by God's grace, last year we took a lot of time to look into Islam. So we will now concentrate on Judaism and Zoroastrianism. Judaism and Zoroastrianism. So we will stay with Zoroastrianism and Judaism next week. We will stay with them. So next week, we are now coming to the last set of religions, the religion of Near East, the religion of Near East, or the Middle East, or Middle East, and then or Palestine. And we are looking at two of them, Judaism. And then Judaism will not be difficult for you because you are already reading the Old Testament. The Old Testament, I always say it is the Bible of the Jews. So we are already reading the Old Testament. So we already had some knowledge there. We will not stay longer there. We'll concentrate much on Zoroastrianism, and then we move. The most interesting thing is that when Jesus Christ was born, the wise men who saw the star and went and visited him, they are not Christians, they are not Jews, they are Zoroastrians. It was Zoroastrians, those wise men from the East, they were Zoroastrians. They were the people who visited the baby Jesus. So now, what I want you to do for me as an assignment is that I don't want you to write much, but tomorrow, next week, I will give you the question. But I want you to look at salvation. Whatever we are doing here is more about salvation, how one gets to heaven. All religion is about how to get to heaven, right? The ultimate being of life after here. Now, from what we have studied so far, the inclusive, do we go for inclusive or the exclusive stand? That look, salvation is only found in one religion. That is, if I say one religion, it is what we call the exclusive view. Exclusive. We have excluded all the religion. And we say one religion, only Christianity, you can go to heaven. Or the inclusive view. Every religion brings what? Salvation. So all the way that can lead to heaven, right? So I just want you to be thinking about these two stands, the inclusive view of salvation and the exclusive view of salvation. And then you write a paper of only 2 pages for me, right? That salvation is found in one religion. You can tell me the religion. You can even, I know you all write that salvation is found in, you stand on the Christianity view, right? That Christ, salvation is found in only Christ, and all other religion are what? Excluded. But maybe from what we have done so far, maybe you might have been converted to maybe Shintoism. And you want to say that salvation is found in or Buddha. So you don't understand? And then you write. So which one do we go? Should we say that, look, like we also have a stand in the Bible, the parable of the weeds. He said, look, let them all grow up on the day of judgment. Then we'll see which one is what, good or not, right? You know that parable. So that one is more of an inclusive view, right? Look, let your money now boom, right? And then the day of judgment, we will know where we all stand. Or we say, no. Outside Christ, there's no salvation. Or outside Buddha, there's no salvation. Or outside Shiva or Bhakti Shiva, Krishna, there's no salvation. You can argue that way. But I just want you to be thinking about these two stands, the inclusive stand of salvation and the exclusive stand of salvation. And then next week we'll discuss it, and then you will write it and then send it to me. Thank you very much. Any question?
Yeah, Papa, I'm a little bit scared about the Japan. Everything that they do that based on that Shintoism, even their cars and everything. I'm a little bit scared. That means anything from that country or that area are backed by those gods.
So yeah. It's backed by their faith in Shinto. Their Shinto practice.
And that's a very, as Christians, you go and buy a new car, you think from Japan, you think you buy a car, and all those things, television and other things that we do, as you just said, is a little bit scary. And
it's true. Their industrialization, you see, it's more like trying to separate the man from his culture. You cannot separate them. It is part of their life. Even when they become Christians, right, they still keep it. And even when that's why they said that, I was saying that when they move into other religions, they still keep the Shinto practice because they believe that is their way of what? Life.
their way of life. Wow.
That is their way of life. That is their way of life.
But just a quick one. Will this mean that some form of what is the word? Deliverance will be required to
what kind of deliverance? Christian deliverance or what? Do you think that if you don't, what you do as deliverance can work on them?
This is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is that before someone will be delivered from anything, the person must have faith in what you are doing. But see, because you have believed, you have been saved.
Yeah.
So if you don't believe what the person is doing, it will not work, right? But see, have faith in me and have faith in God, right? So if you go and deliver, you understand? So the thing is that as for the Shinto, everything in Japan is so. Even you are wearing a Shinto shirt, you don't even know.
Oh, yeah, Papa. Okay, so Papa, in all this, can we say that all this religion, they don't believe that God exists?
You see what they are telling you. They believe that there are gods. They believe that there are gods, and then these gods live in the. I'm talking of Shinto. They live in the cosmos, right? And these gods are many, over 30 million gods in the cosmos.
How do they count? How do they count it?
They have a way of. It's a mystery. They have a way of counting. If they don't count, how would they know the number, right? And that is the idea. And then you see, they base everything on what? Philosophy, like the way we learned in Taoism, right? Like today, the world is what? Cyclical. The current world is fading away, and then there will be another era, right? And the same thing when we look at Hinduism, it was telling you that look, what you are today it depends on what you did yesterday, and what you will be tomorrow will depend on what you are doing today. It is philosophy, nipa adwene. Now, if you put them on the measurement, the things make sense.
Yeah,
right? So it is human. So this kind of thing are more for philosophy,
Okay.
than how do you call it a faith. You understand? So that makes it so difficult, right? Good. And someone was asking me a question: how old was the mother? How old is Tao's mother? So maybe if the child was 60 years, she had 60 years in the womb, then the mother might be around 80 years or 90 years to keep a child in that womb, right?
Yeah.
The child came out with a beard. Good.
But honestly,
so
sorry, Papa.
Hello, Berima.
Yeah, but honestly, I just wanted a clarification on that particular thing, because yeah, right now we are learning. Maybe you just go and begin to demonstrate our
our competence.
Taoism prowess. Yes, we've learned Taoism. Then we'll be saying that there's a man called Lao Tse, who is the founder of Taoism, and it is believed that he lived in the mother's womb for 60 years. So was the mother really pregnant for 60 years and it was visible, or like that 60-year pregnancy was invisible? And was that 60 years added to his age, making it 160, or it was minus his age?
Okay, for me, that is what I read and what I'm telling you. As I say, it was a physical pregnancy or it's a mystical pregnancy. What I know is that, and from the books, they said that the mother was pregnant for 60 years. So before he came out, he was already old, and then they described him that he had a. So I think that the 60 years might have been added to, how do you call it, his
The 160 years.
But
Because
I don't think
when
we
he-
have to.
when-
I don't
when
think we
he
have
came-
to argue about this.
no,
Because
when he came out,
Matusala is 900 years. We know Noah and things, they are 600 and something years. So I don't think there is, for me, I don't think there is anything wrong.
Isaiah, was
So,
Methuselah in the mother's womb for 220 years? We are saying that someone conceived for 60 years before the baby is born, and we are compared to Methuselah.
That is you see, that is what means that this is faith and religion. So some of the things you may not understand, but that is what they believe. That is their belief. So we cannot, because if even in the Bible, we can't argue against it. That they said he was conceived for 60 years. So that is what has been said.
That's fine, Papa.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So he was conceived for 60 years and then he lived for 169 years. Yeah. Okay. My boss is in. Doctor.
Yes.
Eja, Yamisha,
Doctor.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me claim there. I'm coming. I gave the. But I don't. Please, can you give the host to me? Who again is a co-host? Kokubera, please, you can put the YouTube off. I'm not sure if Mr. Donfa is here.
Yeah, Papa, please, I'm here.
Can you give the host to me, please?
Okay. You want me to just
go to the three dots on my name?
Yes.
And give me the host, please.
Make.
Yeah, thank you. So, Papa Stephen, thank you so much. May the Lord bless you for being a blessing to us. God richly